I will take in consideration the most of you have Unreal Engine 5 on your PC, but if you don't, you can just head to this website, click download and download launcher, and it's gonna download on your PC. Make sure you download the Unreal Engine 5 Plus so you have no problems following this course. So let's dive right into it. We're gonna create a blank project because we're gonna be creating our first person character from the scratch. So we're gonna select blueprint, target platform desktop, quality preset maximum, and make sure you have ticked starter content. Ray tracing, we are not gonna need it in this tutorial because it's gonna be a pretty simple one. We're gonna call the tutorial our first project. I'm gonna go ahead and create it, and after we create it, so after your new project opened, you should be welcome with this screen. So first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new folder, we're gonna call it maps, and we're gonna go to the file, create new level, and we're gonna select basic. When we do that, we make sure to save current level as, select the folder maps, and call it our level. Move it in the maps, and now we have our map. Okay, so from here, today we're gonna only set up our project so we have everything ready when we start working on it. So first thing that I want to do is I want to go to the blueprint class and all classes and create game instance blueprint, and we're gonna call it let's call our game. So our game instance. Okay, so we have our game instance right now, and what game instance does is it's spawned when the game starts and it gets deleted once the game is closed. It also goes through the levels, so it means it doesn't get reset once we open the new level. It is used to store global data, for example player's health or ammo, if we create a game with multiple levels. So if we create a game with multiple levels, everything that we have inside our game instance is gonna be transferred into the next level. Now when we have the game instance created, we're gonna go ahead and create our game mode. We're gonna go to the creating blueprint and we're gonna select game mode base. Also, we're gonna call it OG game mode. So what game mode does? Game mode stores information about the level. It is spawned when the level is opened and it's removed once level is closed. So it stores all about our level inside the single level. It doesn't transfer to another one. So for every level we have different options. So if we go to our level, we can go to the world settings and we have game modes, and we're gonna select our game mode. So our game mode is gonna be played in this level. Next on the list, what we want to do is we want to create game state. We're gonna go to the right click, blueprint class, and we're gonna create game state. We're gonna make sure we select game state base, select, name it OG game state. So since we are creating a single player game, we won't be needing game states since we are gonna do our work in the game mode. But for the sake of tutorial, it's good to create one. Next, we have player states. We're gonna create it by going to the right click, blueprint class, and we're gonna create player state. Select, we're gonna call it OG player state, just like that. Basically what player state does and what is been used to, player states are used to store player name, score, etc. But since our simple game is going to be single player, we don't need to separate game state, player state and the game mode, because in single player games it doesn't have too much importance. So most of the things we're gonna store inside of our game mode. Next on the list we have HUD. We're gonna create the HUD. Type down HUD, select OG HUD. The reason why we won't be using HUD is because now we can do everything in our user interface, and HUD we might use it for debugging, but nothing else. blueprint class, and here we can select player controller. We're gonna call it OG player controller, just like that. And essentially, it's you control the player. So for example, if every character uses space for jump, you can store that information into player controller. So think of player controller as you who control the character. And when we are talking about character, right click blueprint class and create player character, or you can just select from here actually, OG player character. And now we have everything that we need to create our game. So in this first episode, we set up everything needed to create our game, and from the next episode we're gonna continue adding some mechanics to our game and creating our game. So that's it for today. See you in the next episode.